Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Smallville. This time it's episode 2, Metamorphosis.
So I sort of remembered this one because, like I said, I watched 2 episodes years ago. So
Yeah, like I said last time, the first episode is great. You can see we're getting into a pattern already.
This is probably why I stopped watching. This one's not really good.
I told ya, Look, Smallville the show is great. The first season is a pain to get through, with the vast majority of the episodes following this format. Oh look, here's a villain who's got a mysterious power from the meteor rocks. Oh look, here's some random drama with Lana. Lex comes over and says something slightly intriguing, and then we investigate with Chloe and Pete, who are always interesting, but I wish they were in the episode a bit more.
Yeah. Although Lex did make the decision to give away the necklace, despite being curious about it.
Well, he didn't know there was anything necessarily special about it.
Yeah, I guess... Well, I don't know. I wasn't sure if he had noticed how it affected Clark.
I'm not sure.
Tied up.
I mean, a lot of characters seem to ask if he's okay when they see him get affected by it, but, that could just be a generalized thing. I'm not sure if Lex was, curious in that moment and just didn't say anything, or... Because, even though I've seen this show, I don't remember every goddamn beat of every episode.
Yeah, because in this episode, he was more interested in the love life of some 14-year-olds.
Yeah, of course, because apparently Lana and Chloe are the only girls at that school. Everyone's interested in Lana. I'm like, fine, she's nice looking. She's not that great, who cares? It's 2 episodes in, and we know 3
She just made Homecoming Queen, though, so...
I don't know,
that means something, apparently.
Apparently, Americans are weird. 2 episodes in, and 3 different people are interested in Lana. Who's next? Meanwhile, there are plenty of other girls at this school, although we never see them. It's just Lana and Chloe. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. But yeah.
But also, they're trying to paint the other boy as being creepy because he records videos, but Clark
stalks Lana as well. They're both equally creepy. I mean...
Well, no, once he gets insect instincts, then he devolves into super creepy.
He was more creepy. Clark can at least keep up a good persona. He just doesn't help the fact that he's stalking Lana way too much. He needs to let go, but characters in this show never let go.
He kind of does. So the problem, the way this drama unfolds, we think maybe she'll break up with her stupid boyfriend and realize that she shouldn't be with a jerk. But
you'd think that, but then she seems perfectly happy.
Lex tells her stuff, and then she asks about the necklace and everything, But then, when she talks to Clark and he's got it, there's this moment where it's like, he could give it back to her, but then he's probably thinking he could do the right thing and give it back, but if he does, he'd never be able to be around her again. So that's why he holds off at first.
But he still gave it back at the end.
Well, yes, because at the end... The other stupid thing that happened was he let Whitney take all the credit for saving her, because while he was busy actually stopping Bug Boy, Whitney got to the treehouse and broke her out. Whereas Clark could have ripped open the thing before going to the place, but he didn't.
Even if he did, it wouldn't have changed much.
Yeah, but he let Whitney be the first person she sees when it got opened. She thought he saved her, he took her home, and also he gave back the necklace anonymously, so for some reason she thinks Whitney gave it back. But,
I forgot, did she actually say it was Whitney at the end, or did she just kind of smile and look at it?
I'm pretty sure she thinks he did.
I mean, she probably thinks that, but we don't know. Because, well, I guess so. She's got no reason to think that he had it, because she thinks he lost it.
Yeah, he just said he lost it. He didn't actually say, I put it on Clark.
Yeah. That's true, because then Clark would have to explain how he had it in the first place.
Yeah, he'd have to add in the detail that Whitney put it on him.
Yeah, which would just make... I mean, I don't know why she's with him in the first place.
I don't know, just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah, but like I said, look, like I said, the first episode is great. The second episode is just kind of by the books. Like, okay, generic villain, love triangle crap. That's about the standard
But
formula.
now she's got it back, so he can't really be around her if she goes back to wearing it all the time.
I guess so. And then I guess there's that tiny bit where, like, once again, Clark still feels guilty about, like, the meteor shower, but otherwise, like, nothing too substantial happened.
Oh, he did learn about lead.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He'd learned that. Well, he also learned about kryptonite, because, like, he was exposed to the necklace last episode, but he wasn't truly connecting
Yeah,
it.
he's figuring it
This
out.
episode was, like, the real connection of, okay, he's learned. He can't
Because
be
he's
around
also
it.
noticed that there's bits of green in the place.
Shed place
the
they were in, yeah.
And they even mentioned he didn't like hanging out there when they were kids.
Yeah. So, well, that was supposed to be foreshadowing, but yeah, okay. So, this episode does add a little bit of layer, like, it adds that one little tidbit, but, like, otherwise, it's still got a generic villain, and it's still got generic love triangle stuff, which is going to keep going for the rest of the season. But, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it's pretty crap.
It's just, like I said, most of this season is mediocre. The vast majority of this season is just waiting for a scene with Lex and or Lionel, but otherwise, the season is just kind of a majority of the season is just here's a random villain of the week, which is a shame because the later seasons have proper ongoing story.
I still want to know how much older Lex is supposed to be.
I mean, like I said,
But I guess he could, like... Okay, he's sort of friends with Lana's aunt, so he could call himself a family friend, or...
He called him, again, in the opening scene in the pilot, he looked maybe, I'll call it maybe 12 to 14-ish.
I'd say he could pass for 10.
Yeah, it's ambiguous, and Lana and Clark would have been around 2 or 3. Probably around 3, maybe even 4.
No, because we got another line. Mum said Dad had the spaceship in his basement 12 years.
Yeah, okay. So 12 years plus however Clark was as a baby. So that doesn't make sense, because then that will place Clark at 2 during the opening.
Could have been 2 turning 3, so...
Unless she was rounding up or down a tiny bit, because, like, remember...
Yeah, because Lana was 3 at the time.
Because Clark is 14.
And they're in the same year level.
Yeah.
But, he could have been 2 turning 3 or something.
She could be close, but much older than him, but still within the same year level.
A slip of 1 year
Could still
doesn't
make
mean
sense.
much, because it could be... Someone could be rounding up or down or anything.
Exactly, so I wouldn't take her 12 years as necessarily gospel, but yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's just... The first season is very formulaic, which is why it's a very hard show to review. I've even seen people do reactions of it. I haven't watched them, but, like, I think to myself, there are reaction-worthy moments in later part certain particular episodes, but it's not one of those shows where I'm like, you need to react to every single episode. There might be an episode here or there where I'm like, oh, I'd love to see a reaction to that moment or this moment, but, like, episode by episode, it's just generic thing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's... Like... It's even worse than, like... At least season 1 of Flash, for instance... It does have villain of the week stuff, but
is just so much slower in this. It's so...
Oh yeah, I really felt like this episode dragged on, because it's the same length as last time, but at least last time needed that length to introduce.
It really
beginning.
just shows that to anyone who does, like, movie telling or storytelling or anything, that pacing is such a fascinating thing. Because, look, all the shows we talk about are all the same 45-minute length. This is the same length of Arrow, Flash, and Legends, etc., and yet it feels slower than an episode of Flash or even Arrow for the most part.
Yeah, because the story of this episode, I feel like, could have been done quicker.
It just feels like things are slower paced. It's like watching classic Doctor Who, where a 4-part classic Doctor Who story is the same as, say, a 2-parter in modern series, and yet it feels slower paced.
Yeah, because they take so long to get to stuff.
It feels like lines are delivered slower. There's a lot more establishing shots, or there's a lot more just slow.
Well, Classic Who is, I don't know, it's a product of its time, maybe back then.
I mean, you've got to remember, this is a product of its time too. This is 2001, whereas, like, the Arrowverse is, like, 2012, 2014. So, like, 10 years does make a big difference.
I mean, not that long ago, in my English class, I was watching Sunset Boulevard. It's a movie in the 50s, and it was pretty slow to, like, get to stuff. I was wondering, like, when is it going to end? When are we going to get to more plot points, you know? So
But sometimes
maybe older stuff was slower.
Well, it is, but also sometimes a slow movie can be good. I mean, take Shawshank Redemption. It's one of the best movies out there, and yet it's 2 hours long. You're just going through the motions, but I'm never bored during it. Or maybe it's just because I love it so much. But, like, older stuff is slower. You don't compare this into... While it is a superhero show made by WB, so I can understand some comparisons to Flash and Arrow, but more accurately, you should be comparing it to shows like, say, Supernatural or Buffy.
We should try Buffy someday.
I've seen the first couple of episodes of it. I haven't watched it all,
I feel like I saw a tiny bit
I've seen the first couple of episodes of it.
because Mum loved it.
And in terms of Buffy, I can definitely see like the comparisons into terms of pacing. They're both high school shows with something weird happening. There's pacing, there's a little bit of an ongoing mystery, but not too much. I haven't seen later stuff, but like, you've got to remember, those shows came around the same time. So
I always wondered if Buffy would be similar to Charmed, because I did
it feels
watch
like it
that.
is. I don't know. Although we are going to see, there's a lot of actors.
I kind of want to rewatch Charmed someday, because I did watch it, but like, I don't remember it that well because I think I did wait for episodes to come on TV, so
Well,
I just watched whatever I saw on TV.
anyway, I suppose we've rounded out our thoughts very well at this point.
This episode was pretty crap.
I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong about this episode. It's just slow. It's slow and not much stands out about it. Like,
Also, we kind of hate the romance drama.
oh god, I hate that, and unfortunately that's going to continue for basically all the seasons. Sorry about that. But like, that's a problem with these episodes is even if there's not inherently something truly bad about them, when you're done with that and you wait a few days, I challenge you to remember it. When you think about, if you're somebody who's watched the show, or at least watched a decent amount of it, you're never going to remember this episode, or most of the episodes from season 1. I can remember a lot of cool plot points from this episode, or that episode, or that episode, but like, nothing from season 1 other than like, the first episode, and maybe the final episode. Season 2 has some good episodes, and then we, like, after you get through season 2, the roll really gets rolling, but like, season 1 is just such a slog to get through. Oh well. Anyway, with that being said, we'll see you next time for more Smallville and other things as well. See you next time, guys.